Hello, I'm City Manager T.C. Broadnax. The City of Tacoma, like many other municipalities across the country, continues to be impacted by the national recession. The budgetary choices that the city makes for the 2013-2014 biennium will be especially important to ensure that the needs of our residents are met. We have financial challenges, including declining revenues and an increased demand for services, which has led this organization to rethink the way we do business. As you are aware, the city is faced with the task of balancing a general fund deficit of more than $60 million. Recovery from the recession has been slower than anticipated, and as a result, the city has taken considerable measures to reset the budget with the realistic goal of providing the best services possible. As you may have heard me mention throughout the budget development process, we've gone back to the basics, focusing on the 3 C's: core services, evaluating the services we provide to ensure that we are focused on core services for our community; continuous improvement, finding cost-effective and efficient ways to improve city services; and lastly, credibility. Through municipal transparency, we want to clearly communicate the city's financial status. Community input has also played an important role in developing the budget. This summer, we held a series of community meetings to give our residents the opportunity to become informed and have an active role in the city's budget development process. During these meetings, we took copious notes. We listened to your comments and suggestions, and we developed a budget that reflects many of your concerns. The proposed budget initiates the city's commitment to strong financial and performance management and lays the foundation that positions this city towards a more sustainable path for the current and future economic growth. The following video was designed to provide you with a better understanding of the city's budget. It will also highlight programs and services that are proposed for the biennium. Over the next several weeks, City Council will carefully consider the proposed budget, listen to community input, and ultimately adopt the budget in December. We look forward to your continued input and engagement in the budget process. It is our goal as a city organization to provide high-quality services that help make Tacoma a great place for individuals and families to live and for businesses to thrive. Again, thank you for taking the time to learn more about the city's budget process and the many services we provide.
The City of Tacoma's 2013-2014 proposed balanced biennial budget reflects our commitment to strong fiscal responsibility and incorporates a more efficient approach to the delivery of city services by refocusing resources on those core services that matter most to our residents. Dollars and cents, the city's biennial budget. The city's biennial budget serves as a financial framework for how the city can best use its resources to benefit Tacoma residents and enhance their overall quality of life. The city's proposed operating budget totals $2.77 billion, of which $396.4 million has been allocated for general fund expenditures over the next 2 years. The city's budget is comprised of several funding sources that support city services. These revenue sources are influenced by the current economic climate. For example, sales taxes are dependent on local buying power, and property taxes are dictated by the housing market. The business taxes driven by companies wishing to do business in the city, and utility taxes are determined by gas, electricity, solid waste, and cable usage. Collectively, these funding sources support the city's general fund budget. The general fund allocates resources to the majority of traditional municipal services. Police and fire represent nearly 60% of the general fund budget. Other core city functions funded in whole or in part from the general fund include public works, library, municipal court, community and economic development, and other services. Revenue enhancements and savings. The budget proposes 2 revenue enhancements over the next biennium. The creation of a transportation benefit district will allow the city to implement a $20 annual fee for vehicle license tab renewals. This new fee will provide revenues of $3.87 million to fund local transportation projects. In addition, the nonprofit healthcare business exemption is proposed to be eliminated. This would result in $5.5 million in new revenues over the next biennium. Continuous improvement, service efficiencies. The proposed biennial budget reflects the establishment of 3 new departments, realigning various services with operational similarities to allow for continuous service improvements and delivery to our residents. The new Planning and Development Services Department redirects the Planning and Building and Land Use Services Division functions to allow for better coordination of the city's planning and permitting services. The Environmental Services Department removes the city's 3 utility divisions, solid waste, wastewater, and surface water, from the Public Works Department. This reorganization will align these general government utilities under one department and provide for a more focused Public Works Department to concentrate on streets, grounds maintenance, and infrastructure. Lastly, the new Neighborhood and Community Services Department will realign functions formerly in the Human Rights and Human Services Department, Code Compliance, and Community-Based Services. This new department will focus on neighborhood improvement efforts and a more results and outcomes-based process for funding human service programs, to include $5.3 million in programs related to the city's mental health sales tax initiative. In addition, proactive code compliance and process improvements will speed up the process from the point that a complaint is received to the initial site inspection.
The one on the end on the right.
The improved integration of these related core services and strategic investment in the community's most basic needs demonstrates the city's commitment toward maximizing every opportunity to increase the quality of life for its residents and business stakeholders. Back to basics, core service delivery. Every day, your city government continues to deliver the core services that impact you and your family, such as fire and police protection, street maintenance, and human services. Police protection. The proposed biennial budget recommends the elimination of 29 positions in the police department. 26 of these positions are commissioned officers, of which 13 positions are currently vacant. This reduction will realize a savings of $6.9 million. In 2013 and 2014, the police department will benefit from the retention of 15 officer positions due to a one-time federal funding award of $3.4 million from a COPS grant. In addition, the city will reinstate 1 community liaison officer to restore the city's community liaison officer program back to its 2011-2012 service levels, and will continue to provide school resource officer program services with 2 city-funded school resource officers and 3 Tacoma Public School supported officers. The gang unit will also continue to serve the community and is staffed with 1 sergeant and 4 patrol officers. The police department will also enhance community policing efforts with the implementation of a new technology program called PredPol through existing grant funds. This program will enable officers to better identify high crime areas, frequency of crimes, and deploy resources more effectively. Fire and EMS Services. The budget proposes a reduction in staffing levels within the fire department with the elimination of 29 commissioned and 2 support staff for a savings of $8.1 million. The proposed staffing reductions will result in the closure of 1 fire station and modified service levels at 2 fire stations in the city. The fire department will retain 37 firefighter positions through a $6.1 million SAFER grant. Additionally, the fire department will increase its community outreach services through the FD Cares program. This service will help reduce the number of repeat 911 callers for emergency medical services and redirect frequent 911 callers to more appropriate resources in the community. The fire department has also implemented a decentralized training technology to provide required training more efficiently, which has resulted in an improved ability to respond to emergencies. Streets and infrastructure. The proposed biennial budget recommends the reduction of 71 positions in the Public Works Department's street operations and engineering divisions. Services provided by these two divisions, such as parks maintenance, rights-of-way maintenance, and pothole repairs, will be reduced, and the design and construction of some capital improvement projects may be delayed. Even with the proposed reductions, the Public Works Department is committed to the continued maintenance of our local streets, as well as Tacoma's 20,000 streetlights and 320 traffic signals. The proposed biennial budget recommends a redirection of resources that will allow for more permanent structural improvements to be made to our local streets that would reduce the need for chip seals and pothole repairs in the future. During the next biennium, several large capital improvement projects will be initiated or completed, including the Murray-Morgan Bridge, Stadium Way reconstruction, Puyallup River Bridge, Tacoma Avenue Bridge, Pacific Avenue Streetscape, People's Pool, and the Old Town Dock reconstruction. Economic development. In the next biennium, the city will take progressive steps to implement a strategic economic development plan focused on revitalizing downtown, business districts, and central city neighborhoods to support development opportunities for local companies, retention and attraction of new businesses, and the creation of jobs for the community. Environmental policy and sustainability. As a bicycle-friendly community, Tacoma embraces alternate modes of transportation to increase the city's sustainability and reduce carbon emissions. Funds received from a $1 million discretionary grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation will support bicycle and pedestrian improvements throughout the city. The city will invest these resources to develop a 13-mile active transportation corridor to serve as the core of Tacoma's on-street bike network. Tacoma Public Library. In the next biennium, the main library will modify its operational hours to 45 hours each week, resulting in $969,000 in savings to taxpayers. The Tacoma Public Library will continue to keep its 7 neighborhood locations open 40 hours weekly. The Tacoma Public Library will operate with reduced levels of technical and support staffing, which will represent an additional savings to taxpayers of $980,000, and a lower materials budget, which will represent a savings of $1 million. In spite of these and other reductions, the library will provide more services in the next biennium with a new integrated library system designed to give residents improved access to its catalog and circulation systems. Additionally, the library's Story Lab will begin its 3rd stage with a mobile digital media lab that will serve its branches. Tacoma Arts and Cultural Entertainment. Tacoma is a culturally rich city with major museums creating a world-class district showcasing incredible collections highlighting Pacific Northwest culture and history, maritime heritage, glass art, classic automobiles, and more. The city's investments in arts and culture have had far-reaching impacts on our community. In the next biennium, $664,000 will be allocated to art agency funding, and staff will continue to look for creative and innovative ways to maximize resources for the arts. With a combination of city efficiencies, reductions, resource redirections, and key service enhancements, the proposed biennial budget provides a strong financial framework and brings services to levels that are affordable and sustainable. Although reductions were required to structurally reset and balance the budget, every effort was made to identify cost savings and operational efficiencies in order to continue to provide the highest level of quality service possible. Let us hear from you. Community input. Community input is a valuable part of the city's budget process. Now that you've learned more about the proposed biennial budget, we're looking for your feedback, and we invite you to attend one of the 5 community budget input meetings. The City Council is scheduled to adopt the budget in December, and the city's new budget biennium begins January 1, 2013. To learn more about the proposed budget and how you can get involved, visit the city's website at cityoftacoma.org. You can watch this video again on TV Tacoma Channel 12, the city's government access channel, and online at tvtacoma.com.